This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the 2023 edition of the HP Pavilion Plus 14-inch. So the Pavilion line, it used to be Pavilion, then above it Envy, and then the top is the Spectre. But those lines are getting awful blurry now because this one is a fairly premium design. It's an aluminum-clad chassis on board. You can get it with the 2.8K OLED display that we have on this one, for example, and your choice of Intel or Ryzen, latest generation CPUs and such. So not exactly slumming here. What's the catch? We're going to look at it now. So the goodness doesn't end there. You have a 5-megapixel webcam and it's a Windows Hello IR camera. This is clearly designed towards those who want to really enjoy media consumption and also are still doing Zoom calling for work and school and all of that sort of thing. It's environmentally friendly, ocean-bound recycled plastics. The aluminum is recycled on it. White backlit keyboard that's so tactile. It's not like Deep Travel or anything like that, but boy, is it crispy, clicky. You know when you got those keys. Very well done there as well. It's available in 3 colors. According to HP's website, we have the standard aluminum silver look, which is a nice look, but apparently there is a calm pink and a moonlight or midnight blue. These are $19 extra if you want those colors. And now a shout out to our sponsor, trendmicro's Premium Security Suite. Well, it's not just spooky season Halloween, it's holiday season in general now, and you don't want people playing trick or treat with your data, do you? So trendmicro's Premium Security Suite isn't just antivirus, though it is that. It does a great job of that. It's also a VPN. It's a password manager. It's protection for phishing scams in text messages. It looks at rogue websites to make sure you don't click through the wrong place. And it has parental controls too. But even better, especially when you're traveling on the go, that VPN is very important. But also the fact that one subscription covers 10 devices. So you're on the road. Sometimes you're just taking your tablet. Sometimes you got to take your laptop. You get the idea. Sometimes you might have your kids with you, your spouse with you. So 10 devices covered, and not just Windows. You also got Mac coverage. You have iOS, which includes iPad, iPhones, and Android devices as well. So be sure to get Premium Security Suite and use my link in the description to save. And now back to our video. So if you go to HP's website, it is kind of confusing. You look at the Pavilion Plus, with the Plus obviously being the higher end version of the Pavilions, and you've got so many different models to choose from and price points, and some are on sale up to $300 off, and others are not. So when I talk about pricing, it really is a ballpark because you never know what sales HP is having on which configurations and all that sort of thing. So you can get with your choice of Intel Core i5 or i7 U series 13th gen CPUs, no doubt soon to be refreshed with 14th gen, which will be a minor jump in performance. Or more interestingly, what we have here, the AMD Ryzen. You can get with Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7, and these are U series Ryzen processors as well. We have the Ryzen 7 on ours, which comes with AMD Radeon 780M integrated graphics. The R5 version comes with 740M graphics, so it punches a little above its weight in the integrated graphics department. There is one oddball SKU with an Intel CPU inside that shows it with an NVIDIA MX550 2GB GPU. I don't know, like I said, it's a little bit of a muddle there when you look at their website, but that's something to keep in mind. But I don't know, you know, this is not a gaming laptop sort of thing, so whatever. So we have the 2.8K OLED display, which HP has used before in the Pavilion Plus, and it is a delightful display. Boy, does this thing have true blacks. Believe it or not, OLED displays do come in different quality levels. Some of them don't achieve absolute perfect blackness. This one does. It is nice looking. It's glossy, but it's non-touch. So for those of you who want the ultimate in viewing experience, you watch a lot of movies or something like that, yeah, this is the one I would choose. It's not that much of an upsell. Sometimes it's tied to a higher end processor, but no, you can build to order with that. It's like 110 or 150 bucks more. It's totally worth it. It is eye candy, lovely, good, all that sort of thing. Brightness on it is decent. You know, OLEDs don't get crazy bright, but it's certainly adequate enough, and yeah, it's nice. But there are other options too. They're all 16:10 aspect ratio displays with this model, but there's a Full HD Plus and a QHD Plus. Those are IPS displays. The QHD Plus IPS is 2560 by 1600, and that one is supposedly flicker free. So that's nice for those of you who are very sensitive to PWM. So RAM on this, 16 gigs of low-power DDR5X RAM. It's fast RAM. It is soldered on board, so you can't upgrade it after the fact. You have an M.2 SSD slot. You can get it with a 512 gig, a 256 gig, even at the lowest end option, a 1 terabyte, which is what we have, and pretty decent drive speeds for a machine in this class, which is the On average, again, it gets difficult with the pricing, around $1,000-ish. I mean, we have the pretty high-end one with the bigger storage amount and the higher-end Ryzen CPU and the OLED display. And that one seems to run, depending on which CPU you go with and stuff like that, somewhere from $1,000 to $1,200. But there are configurations that start as low as under $700. So keep that in mind, even for the QHD Plus IPS display, which is pretty good. Port selection on this is pretty good. We have Ryzen, so no Thunderbolt here, but we do have USB-C 10 gigabit per second. We got 2 ports. One of them will be used by the 65-watt USB-C charger. There's 2 USB-A. One is 10 gigabit, one is 5 gigabit. HDMI 2.1, that's nice. A headphone jack as well. So pretty good ports for something that's this ultralight. It's 3.05 pounds, which is under 1.4 kilograms, so it's an easy carry for a 14-inch laptop. We have Bang & Olufsen stereo speakers, and with this IMAX display and the 3D audio software that it has, it's IMAX certified, whatever that means, right? So, I don't know. It means you can have a nice experience when you're watching movies. That's basically it. You have a MediaTek Wi-Fi 6E card, which in our test worked just fine. Bluetooth 5.3. There is no WLAN or 5G or 4G option on this because this is a consumer, not super expensive laptop on board. So that's all sounding good. So how about performance and battery life? Well, performance is where we would expect it to be. Again, we have the Ryzen 7 U series processor on board, and it's pretty strong, honestly. It's good enough for anything you're going to throw it at it as a casual home user or even as a business user, Soho kind of thing on the go. You want to do a light video editing? Yes, you can do it. Is it for 4K professional video editing? Obviously not that kind of machine, but you get the idea there. You want to do a little Photoshop retouching, you want to do Zoom calling, you want to do some multitasking, it's fine with that. Fan noise, pretty quiet. It's good. Battery on this, HP's website lists 51 watt hour, which is what last year's model had. Ours has a 68 watt hour battery in it. Perhaps the OLED model gets a bigger battery now. Anyway, that's a good idea, given the fact that, well, battery life has been a hurt. I averaged about 6 hours with light to medium use and brightness set to 50%, which would be around 200 nits on this. All right, taking off the bottom cover, looks like it's not too hard. 4 Phillips head screws, nothing hidden underneath the rubber feet like some HP Spectres and the like. Nice ventilation over here, but boy, are there a lot of plastic clips. Start from the back by the hinge cover and pull up from there. It is a piece of work to get this thing off. Metal, there's the underside, and here are the internals. Speaker drivers are right over here. Pretty good sound on this. Again, it's very multimedia oriented. So the M.2 SSD slot is here. It's underneath a metal heat shroud. You can get it whatever capacity you wish. You can upgrade it yourself afterwards. That's a standard drive there. Again, RAM is soldered on board. Processor under the heat sink here. We have a single fan. This seems to be a blank. Doesn't look like it's actually a fan. Maybe it's for that mysterious MX550 NVIDIA GeForce configuration or something like that. We do have a socketed Wi-Fi card. Again, MediaTek's Wi-Fi 6E card with Bluetooth 5.3, but it is socketed should you feel the need to replace it in the future. So that's the HP Pavilion Plus 14-inch for 2023. And honestly, I mean, there's competition in that around $1,000. We're getting into the premium, but we're not going crazy and buying Spectres or Dell XPSs and that sort of thing. But in terms of looks, in terms of solidness of build quality, good audio experience and nice display options on this. A very tactile keyboard. I'm actually liking it an awful lot. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more cool tech videos and thumbs up if you like this vid.